Welcome back, and this is CringeLord11 reporting from 5,000 meters in the AWACS. Now today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I got my voice back. I was playing this as I still had the Rona and I was feeling like absolute dog shit. I couldn't really play that well, so I was thinking, how can I get my team to get wins? So we concocted this devious little plan over here by simply spotting the entire enemy team from 20 kilometers away. Now this is inherently rather dangerous. You are alone behind enemy lines, and if you get spotted early on, you have to deal with the Su-27 spam and ERs will be shot your way. And if this happens, you basically need to disengage, and this plan kind of goes tits up, because all of these guys over here will start pitching their nose at you, and then this plan simply doesn't work anymore, and you are essentially useless. Now you don't always have to die, you can go defensive early enough, but it basically means that you are out of the game for the rest of the match. But I will show you some clips of that as well. The nice thing here is that you dive on people when they aren't really paying attention, because you kind of went further right than they went left. You get behind all of them, and just like right here, we are gonna just kind of sling some missiles off. We shoot 3 off, 2 of them are going to be connecting, and we are just gonna continue on and shoot our missile at these 2 guys. And you can tell in the background, my team isn't even here yet. I am breaking all of these guys up, and I'm making them look at different directions, and this gives my team the ability to still manage to lose. So this time around I managed to almost get a perfect example of me dropping in, spawning the entire enemy team, killing 4 people before even anything happened. I get some pressure on me here as well. This should be a very easy win, and most of the time when this happens, you do win. This is however one of those instances where my team was full of F-4Cs. They had a lot of Gripens, and the game was essentially over. So we do escape with a life right here, but then after we disengage from this furball, we are gonna get the entire team on our 6, as you can see over there, because guess what? My team was absolutely useless. So let's take a look at another example. This time we don't go far right, we actually go through the middle, and this is inherently a little bit more dangerous, because this is where people are looking, and this is where you will find yourself kind of get slammed by 27 ERs from time to time, which I don't really recommend doing. Now if it's your kink, I'm not gonna shame you. However, this time around it was a down tier, and when you have a full team of F4Ss in the enemy team, you just know that you don't really have to worry too much. So we are just gonna dive in, launch 3 of our missiles yet again. Unfortunately they aren't really packed together as closely as I would like, so I'm not able to get that mystical 6 times that some people have been getting. But it does work, and when it doesn't work in the terms of you getting a lot of kills, because very often you will just find yourself get 1 kill or perhaps even 0 because you get pressure. So this is a bit of an RNG tactic for your RP, but when it comes to getting wins, it's pretty good, because it just lights up the entire enemy team. It gives them all something to engage, and when they are distracted, your team kind of just comes in and slams them all out of the air, which is just terrific. So here we are, going basically through the middle like we did last time around, but this time we spot some contrails. Also make sure you stay below 5 kilometers basically, because you don't want to get your own contrails, and if you have teammates behind you that have contrails, you need to make sure that you do not line yourself up with their team and your players, because they are going to be looking at their contrail, and once they are looking at their contrail, you are also going to be showing up on their radar, which makes it a little bit less likely to work. So if you see that there's a lot of people at altitude, if you see there's a lot of your team at altitude, I recommend to kind of just go back into the team flow and play like you normally would, because 9 out of 10 times you're gonna do absolutely nothing and you are just kind of wasting your time. So that Su-27 in the background is locking me up, and he very much wants to go for me. I can tell from the start, I broke his lock, I started notching, he kept going for me, and at the way he's flying at me right now, I know that I'm getting a dogfight, 100%. So I start notching him yet again, we dodge the missile, we cut throttle a little bit to make sure that we have a proper merge speed, we pre-flare, he missiles, and once you are past head-on with an Su-27, he is literally dead. So all we now need to do is get on the 6, miss our gunshots, and then shove a 9M directly up his asshole. And that's the fun thing here. Most of the time when you get pressured at high altitude, it's either an Su-27 or a MiG-29 SMT. And let me tell you, both of those planes are not exactly scary. But that's all I did. It takes me so much time for that little dogfight that you saw right there, that by the time I am in the middle of the map, the game is already over. And that's what I mean with sometimes you just get absolutely nothing done. This time around it's the mixed game, so they will have American planes as well, and this means there's likely going to be a Phoenix slinger. So I'm gonna see if I can get him spotted. I cannot, and I spot some guys on the deck. And there's an F-15, and when you see one of them, there is more to follow, and there's the rest of them. Another issue with this is if there's a guy that's rushing straight in below you, you get spotted. If you get spotted in this kind of scenario, you are basically toast. Now, we get spotted, not really spotted, we get locked by an F-14, he shoots his Phoenix at us. But because we aren't actually spotted, because we are far away enough and we are only on his radar, the team below me right now doesn't actually see me. So we defeat the Phoenix, and after defeating the Phoenix, we can simply transition straight down. Now this Tomcat knows that I'm there. The issue is that that Tomcat is definitely not talking in the Steam chat, he is not on voice comms, and there is no squads in the enemy team. So again, I dodge the missile, and I dive straight in, and I'm just gonna be slinging AIM-9Ms off. Now this is a game where it goes a little bit different. I actually start off behind them, I manage to get 2 or 3 kills, and after we do that, we still have everyone in front of us, which is a very good position to make sure that we actually win this game. The game is already basically decided. I cut a hole in their team, I made them break up, and they are very much spread apart, and our team is actually doing pretty well. And just like that, the game is decided, and that's the issue with this gameplay plan. The games are so quick that sometimes you just get nothing done. Dodge the missile from the Su-27 behind us, and now we simply want to just be part of the furball and use our numbers advantage to close out this game. So we turn around and we just start pressuring and third partying everyone that's flying around. This is actually one of the longer games, but you can tell that it's essentially over. But it's very important that you know when to pull out. You don't want to get a kid at your age. You want to make sure that you actually stick around. You kinda loiter around the battlefield and don't get yourself killed. It's very easy to get caught up in the fact that you just saw a 4-time multi-kill on your screen. It makes you a little bit overconfident sometimes, and this will get you killed. You are in the thick of it, you are basically behind all of them, but if they all start going for you, they turn around pretty quickly. They keep their speed quite well, and let me tell you, if you get 12 missiles shoved up your asshole in a span of 1 second, you're not gonna have a very good time. We merge with this furball, we dodge some missiles, and everyone is busy. There's a Mirage in front of us, there's a JS-39, which basically already means that we win. That's the other thing. If there's Gripen in the enemy team, focus those things at the start, as they are not paying attention. I don't care how many people are in that furball. If you can kill 2 or even more Gripens as they are not paying attention to you, those are worth killing like 6 regular planes, because it doesn't matter how bad they are in the Gripen, they are gonna perform decently. And if they are actually good in the Gripen, you're probably not gonna be killing them with your AIM-9M, because they're probably gonna be looking at you. But if they are good, you really need those things out of the game. You don't want to deal with those things late game, and they will turn the tide of battle with just 1 or 2 of them. If you are a sim enjoyer, I highly recommend you check out this video down below. This is a guy that I stumbled upon recently. I think he makes very good sim content, kind of feels similar to watching myself in terms of how he does the commentary and the way he showcases the planes. And if you are a fan of me, which I think you are if you made it 8.5 minutes into this video, first of all, of course, check the button down below, helps me out tremendously. And secondly, pay him a visit. I don't think you will regret it. I'll link the JAS-39 Gripen video down below. And if you're wondering why I'm not commentating on this J11 fight, it's pretty simple. That's because it's about as easy as this shot right here. And as you might have noticed, I have 6 empty missile rails, and this is my first kill of the game. And that's because my actual entry drop-in didn't work out at all, but because I had them all spotted, turns out to be quite okay. This time around, however, I didn't get to spot anyone because I got caught off guard. A guy rushed in directly below me, got me spotted, and I got pressured by the entire enemy team. Now luckily most of them died to my teammates, and we actually managed to single it out with only this J11. So we pre-flare, we slow down a little bit, make sure we merge properly, and we will instantly get on the 6. Now if he flies away, just like right here, we AIM-9M him, and if he doesn't, well, he dies as well, because he's not going to be winning this dogfight. Just like I am not going to be winning that game, and I totally didn't die approximately 10 seconds later, because I got dived on by 7 different people. And that's just the kind of dice roll nature of this gameplay. This time around, too many people high, too many people through the middle. I couldn't see because of all the mountains, so I just kind of skimmed the mountains, popped up over, Still went far right. So we managed to slam 2 people with a missile out of the air. We then go defensive against the entire enemy team. And keeping them all busy over here, even though I didn't kill them, still ensures that they have a lot less people to worry about in the middle of the map. Now I have 4 people on me and I just killed 2, so effectively I just took 6 people out of the game, even if most of those are only temporary, and they will actually take the pressure off from my team that is on the other side of the map. Now I am gonna be winning the initial part of this fight here, but yet again my team doesn't win despite the major advantage that I gave him on the other side of the map, and we still managed to lose. And that's just the unfortunate reality of it. I kinda got stuck again in a 1v4, but that's not what today's video is about. And I also just died like a bitch, so there's really not much to show you there. Yet again, Spain. This time we go through the middle. I don't notice anyone at high altitude, and because again this is a very small map, I will be able to spot them very quickly. Now I want to be careful of that mirage on my left, but I do want to spot everyone over the terrain here so that my team knows what's coming in. And again, that is very important. But it's also very important that you know your matchmaker, you know who you are facing, if it's an up or a down tier. Well, up tiers are not really gonna happen, but you know what I am saying. So I dive in and I see an F-16, which is obviously going to take priority, and then the MiG-23 is directly next to him, so I'm just gonna shoot one at him as well. We get 2 kills, and by the time we turn back into the fight, guess what? You guessed it, the game is already over. I'm just trying to make sure that you understand that this is not a foolproof way of winning every game. But if you do this in something like a squad, for example, it helps you out tremendously. And it kind of changes us up. Now I see an Su-27 on the left. I see an Su-27 all the way in the back on the right. So I'm gonna make a little bit of haste and see if I can dive in a little bit sooner other than later. Now, actually I should have gone for the MiG-29 on the right and then the J-11. And I probably could have picked up the FRS on the way there as well. But I didn't notice that everyone was starting to notice me. And this is where it kind of became dangerous. Now this is one of the times where it didn't go absolutely terribly. But you still need to be very proactive with this gameplay. And I died a hell of a lot more than I usually do. My stats tanked a tremendous amount doing this. But it might also have something to do with the fact that I had a 39-degree fever and I could barely see straight. Luckily the third eye definitely helped with seeing straight. And it also kind of isolates everyone on the same side. Now the issue is when you do get kind of swamped, there's really little you can do. It's very annoying. The only real thing here is that you just kind of keep them busy for as long as possible, so that your team actually has time to come in and utilize the fact that they are all going for you. When the entire enemy team is turning after you, you get killed and it takes more than 30 seconds for your team to arrive. They're already back up to speed, they have completely recovered, and your sacrifice was essentially in vain. Now if you are in the thick of it and you are flaring and you are turning with everyone and you're actually keeping everyone slow as your team comes in, that's terrific. That makes it so that your team can kind of just come in and swipe them all up. When this does happen, make sure to actually turn away from your team once they start getting close. And this might sound counterintuitive, but that's what you want to do. You want them to all turn their engine at your teammates, making it so that they can all start slinging their R73s, AIM-9Ms, AIM-9Ls, AIM-9Bs even, I don't care what they are using. They are gonna have a better time slinging those missiles from a rear aspect other than a front aspect. And from a front aspect, the enemy can also retaliate, and that's something that you don't want to happen. This game we only killed 2 guys at the start and it didn't really change the impact of the game that much. But we did keep sufficient pressure and we took some guys going for us. We reversed some guys, our team killed some people. And all in all, this was a pretty successful game. There you go. As I said, my stats went down. Quite significantly so. However, that is only talking about my kills per battle and my KD. That went down a lot as well. But my win rate, surprisingly enough, went up. And during these times, and if you have played American teams in the last few days or the last 2 weeks, you know just how terrible they are, even with the mixed battle. I got Sweden in the enemy team essentially every game. And when I was playing the J11, every time I got Sweden in my team, you can see it right there, we won. Yeah, the other 9 or 8, whatever, defeats are with Sweden in the enemy team. And that's just the nature of the Swedish at top tier right now. People are saying that the Gripen is balanced, and it's simply because small nation pilots are better than massive nation pilots because it's not as mainstream, there are less noobs. But then I would like you to tell me or elaborate How some people that are negative in every plane manage to go 3 or 4 to 1 in the Gripen with like a 80% win rate. The Gripen is the most handheld plane in the entire game history. Not right now, not this patch. Since the start of this game I have not had a plane that is as brain dead as this thing. And I have played the Yak-23 at 7.3. I have played the BI-1. I have played the F-84G when it was 7.3 and I managed to go 351 kills without dying. And still, this plane, the Gripen, is more brain dead than all of those combined. It is extremely painful to fight. It's almost as bad as trying to aim when you can barely see straight. As you saw right there. Now this is some of the worst aim I've ever showcased on my channel. But hey, it's my aim. And I'm proud. Okay, I'm not proud of it. It's absolutely fucking embarrassing. So we crit the Mirage to 4000. And that's all I have for you today, really. We put him into a flat spin. I thought, well, might just show an AIM-9M up his ass. I'm just gonna disengage and we are gonna try to land. Now, we pull the flaps in, we fly away, and then all we really need to do is make sure that we don't